Fani Willis is one of the people going after Trump in Georgia. She's the DA who says he committed a RICO violation. And there are some updates now in the case against her. The audience by now is familiar with the fact that she's under examination for having an alleged affair with her special prosecutor she brought in, Nathan Wade, and paying him what looks like much, much more than the other two special prosecutors, and then taking trips all over the world with the guy on the taxpayer dime. All of it looks corrupt, could potentially be a bribe, could potentially be a violation of law that she's going to have to answer for in a criminal court herself, and it could potentially get her bumped off of this case. Do I think it'll get the case dumped? I don't. But I don't think Fani Willis has any business staying on this case, and that's all going to be litigated. The latest on it is she and Nathan Wade are expected to be subpoenaed for a hearing on the affair allegation. So it looks like they are actually going to have to provide witness testimony at this hearing. And, so far, neither one has denied it. Neither one has spoken to it. They said they'd address it in motion practice, but they haven't. So the hearing, which takes place on February 15th, could include live testimony from both Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. Which,
that's going to be must-watch TV.
Put it on your calendar. Now, secondly, Trump filed something interesting in this case. He's kind of let this other defendant run herd on the Fani Willis problems. That's fine. Trump's got enough legal issues to deal with. But Trump and his attorneys just weighed in on the Fani thing legally. And they filed a motion in Fulton County Superior Court regarding Willis. And it zeroes in on the speech she gave at the Big Bethel AME Church that we've played in part for our audience over this past week, where she got up there and made it all about race and, got very political. She was supposed to be giving a speech on MLK Day. Instead, she made it all about herself and her alleged lover and what victims they are. And the allegations that Trump is making in this motion are that these constitute, I'm quoting here, a glaring, flagrant, and calculated effort to foment racial bias in this case by publicly denouncing the defendants for somehow daring to question her decision to hire a black man, without also mentioning that she is alleged to have had a workplace affair with the same man to be a special prosecutor. These assertions by the DA engender a great likelihood of substantial prejudice toward the defendants in the eyes of the public in general and prospective jurors in Fulton County in particular. They say that these remarks, which I'll play for you in part right now, amount to a violation of Georgia's rules of professional conduct, which require prosecutors in criminal cases to, quote, refrain from making extrajudicial comments that have a substantial likelihood of heightening public condemnation of the accused. Here is just a snippet of what he's talking about in SOT, I think it's 11.
Why does Commissioner Thorne and so many others question my decision in a special counsel? I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do, paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one. First thing they say, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one? Why are they so surprised that a diverse team that I assembled, your child, can accomplish extraordinary things? God, wasn't it them that attacked this lawyer of impeccable credentials? How come, God, the same black man I hired was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. Why is the white male Republican's judgment good enough, but the black female Democrats not?
It's pretty extraordinary, and it's a pretty clever objection by Team Trump because they're absolutely right.
Yes.
I mean, it is extraordinary to hear a prosecutor talking like this.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's so many layers to this. First of all, she's in big trouble. And if she did end up having a romantic relationship, which it seems that she did with Nathan Wade, then she should be dismissed immediately. And you could make an argument, which it's not enforced and it's kind of a antiquated law in some ways, that adultery is a felony in the state of Georgia. So somebody very well might have to answer. Again, it's almost never enforced, but it's still on the books. That's still, you can fact check it. It is still on the books in the state of Georgia.
Well, at a minimum, she ran for office saying she would never have an affair with an underling.
I want to be clear. Yes,
but I'm just saying, separate and apart from the criminal matter, she promised the voters she would never do this. So as an ethical and a political matter, it's two strikes against her. Keep going.
Right. No, and then the other layer, which is, I think we could come after this from another perspective, is remember Nathan Wade invoiced saying that he was communicating with the Biden White House, billable hours to the White House counsel's office on multiple occasions. So that deserves some sort of explanation. There finally is some Senate board overseeing this to look into it. But Fani Willis, this is the playbook. How dare you look into me? How dare you question anything? And it's because I'm a black female. No, it's not. You're the first person besides Alvin Bragg to indict a former president of the United States on the most silly, insane RICO charge ever. And now that we are criticizing and looking into, you're going to play the black female race card. And by the way, what in Nathan Wade's experience as a personal injury lawyer prepares him to work on this for $600,000 cumulative dollars? It's as if you hire Better Call Saul as a personal injury lawyer to come alongside of you to go after Donald Trump. And this is a sweetheart deal that is being exposed, thankfully, because of these divorce proceedings. And look, Fani Willis has been the darling of the left-wing media. The New York Times did a whole cover story on her last year. They really were amping it up. Do you notice how Georgia has not received a lot of attention lately, Megyn? That they're kind of ignoring this? There was a lot of hype around Georgia, and they say, oh, Donald Trump's in legal perils. But if you read the legal peril arguments, they all kind of point to the Jack Smith stuff, and they point to documents, and they point to the insurrection or whatever, all that nonsense, because they know they have a serious problem here. Because the prosecutor and the investigator, who might be removed, who could be removed by the special Senate hearing, they're looking into it, all the different nefarious activity, is that the prosecutor herself is engaging in prosecutorial misconduct and potentially illegal behavior. And it's a shame because you look at all the other defendants, whether it be Rudy Giuliani or Mark Meadows, that have to spend hundreds of thousands and near millions of dollars to defend themselves. I want to find out who's actually pulling the strings here. If Nathan Wade actually had multiple billable hours to the Biden White House counsel's office, did the Biden White House counsel's office get tipped off ahead of time? Were they the one coordinating this? Are they the coordinating hub of the lawfare attack against Donald Trump? This is what interests me even more.
Because they deny
than,
it.
Fani Willis is. Well, they deny it, but then what was this all about? Why is Nathan Wade billing the taxpayers of
that's
Fulton
one of the
County
questions.
Multiple times?
Yes, yeah, because I'm just letting the audience know. The Biden White House, they deny having anything to do with this. They've jumped through 10,000 legal hoops to make it look like they have nothing to do with any of these prosecutions. And then there's a bill by Nathan Wade after having met with the White House counsel's office about this case. So which is it? And Nathan Wade's about to take the stand on February 15th in this courthouse, and you can bet that the cross-examiners are going to say, what was discussed? What was this for? Now, it could just be, are there documents we need that are related to this? We'll find out. But it was a couple of meetings. It wasn't just one. And he's going to have to answer for it. Just two things. You're referencing it. Today in Georgia, the GOP-controlled state Senate is debating and will reportedly vote on a resolution that would create a committee to investigate Fani Willis. The panel would have no power to sanction her, but could subpoena evidence and witnesses to dredge up embarrassing information. That's interesting because we don't know what this judge in the cases down in Georgia, the ones against Trump and his co-defendants, or the divorce case in which this all got started. We don't know what any of them is going to have to say about this. So this is sort of a backup politically. And speaking of politically down in Georgia, the Fulton County supervisor named Bridget Thorne, who was referenced by Fani Willis in that church tirade she went on, has now weighed in on what happened between the two of them when Bridget Thorne had the temerity to ask Fani Willis, what's the deal with these Nathan Wade expenditures? I'm supposed to be answering to the taxpayers of Fulton County. Why is he getting paid so much? And take a listen to what she said.
Transparency was not there. As I've skimmed through it, the allegations are frightening. I believe we need some transparency. As I asked her how much this election interference case was costing the county, the answer I got was that Lady Justice has no price, and I wasn't given any amounts. Thirdly, when I asked her about the Nathan R. Wade expenditures in particular, I didn't get an answer. I was told that I'm just picking on him because he's black.
That's her only card to play.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Almost every person in the Fulton County government at this point is black. So, I mean, that's just, I hate to break it. Again, it's not a race thing. When Fani Willis comes up and does a press conference, like 80% of the people working in her office are black. It's fine. I have no problem with that. So, but it's just a silly thing to say. It's like, are we able to do our job as the supervisor office or not? You can't pick on anybody in it. But I will say this, Fani Willis should be nervous. That is not a good enemy to have. You do not want to have the supervisor board looking into you for a very specific reason. There's another rule and protocol that Fani Willis very well might have broken, which is a conflict of interest. When you submit your expenses to the supervisor's office in Fulton County, you have to fill out any sort of conflict of interest forms like, oh yeah, hey, this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my cousin, this is my lover that I go on Caribbean cruises and go to Napa Valley with. You have to disclose that. And I don't know, I think the Fulton County supervisor is another attack vector here. I mean, look, they overreached when they went after Trump. One of these is going to break, one of these. And final, if I'm reading the prosecutor law correctly, I believe Brian Kemp can fire Fani Willis at any point. Now, whether he's going to do that or not remains to be seen. He's not exactly a friend of Trump. He's tried to keep his distance. But the evidence is mounting that Fani Willis herself might actually be the criminal here, not Donald Trump.
We all know the value of a good night's sleep. You feel better, you look better, you have more energy. The list is endless. Yet, getting better sleep is a tough resolution to follow through on. It can seem sometimes like a lost cause. You're too hot, you're too cold, you don't know what's wrong, but you're not sleeping well. But now there's Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth has the softest, most luxurious, and responsibly sourced bedding on the planet. And because their bedding is made with premium viscose from highly sustainable bamboo, it's naturally temperature regulating, so you sleep comfortably year-round. As one customer put it, buy these sheets. The difference in my sleep was immediate and worth every penny. I couldn't agree more. Experience life-changing luxury with Cozy Earth's bedding, bath, and apparel products, all backed by a 100-night sleep trial, as well as a 10-year warranty. Visit CozyEarth.com for details. Right now, you can save up to 35% off. CozyEarth.com. Go there now. Enter my promo code Megyn at checkout for up to 35% off your first order. Okay, CozyEarth.com. Promo code Megyn to get 35% off. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.